What if your salary isn't actually money, but a high-interest payday loan you're forced to pay back with your literal lifespan? The brutal truth is, under this system, you would be entirely bankrupt by age 32, legally owned by your corporate employer, and forced to auction off your remaining weekend hours just to afford basic groceries. But not exactly, because the real financial system is vastly more subtle than sci-fi wage slavery, even though the underlying logic leads to the exact same terrifying place. Let's build a minimum model of how your money actually works, because they absolutely refuse to teach this in school. We are going to assume just 3 variables for this simulation: your wage rate, your survival cost, and your free time. To keep this incredibly simple and clear, we are ignoring taxes, we are ignoring complex inflation metrics, and we are completely ignoring that weird crypto day trading phase your brother went through last year. We are just looking at the raw, undeniable math of your hours versus your baseline biological survival. Now listen closely. If you're working a 9 to 5, you're already living in this system and losing. Why? Because you are quietly trapped by 3 massive real-world bottlenecks that mathematically guarantee you stay broke. First, the biological ceiling. You cannot work 24 hours a day, no matter how much toxic hustle culture tells you to grind. You have to sleep, you have to eat, and you have to commute. This means a massive chunk of your inventory, your time, is automatically confiscated by your biology and your boss before you even clock in. Second, the subsistence floor. Rent, food, and healthcare are absolute fixed costs. You don't get to save or invest a single penny until the baseline financial cost of merely existing on this planet is paid off in full every single month. Third, energy depreciation. As you age, your physical and mental energy naturally drops. This means the older you get, the harder it becomes to trade your physical hours for maximum financial value.
You are, in brutal financial terms, a depreciating asset on a corporate balance sheet. But here is where it gets absolutely crazy, and I want you to picture this reality. I'm going to simplify the math. Instead of doing a full tally of a lifetime of expenses, let's use a single shocking comparison to illustrate the massive gap between what you think you earn and what you actually keep. Imagine you earn a decent $20 an hour. After you pay for your rent, your groceries, your commuting gas, and your basic utility bills, your true disposable income, the actual profit you get to keep, might be just $2 measly an hour. Now, look at a brand new average-priced car. You aren't buying that car for $35,000. Because your true net profit is only $2 an hour, you are actually buying that vehicle for 17,500 hours of your actual life. That is nearly 9 full working years. 9 years of your waking life, surrendered purely to buy a metal box to drive to the exact job that is draining your life in the first place. The math is horrifying. And that's not even the worst part. Let's follow this exact cause and effect chain, because it escalates incredibly fast. It starts small, almost unnoticeable. You realize that a simple $20 takeout meal actually costs you 10 hours of your true net profitable work, so you stop going out. You isolate yourself to save cash. Then the pressure scales up to the next level. Because your time is bleeding value, you start sacrificing your real relationships for a minor corporate promotion. You work unpaid overtime, skipping family events, missing your kids growing up, just to keep your head above the rising water of inflation. But society doesn't stop there. As this invisible time tax compounds over years, it begins to swallow entire communities whole. We reach a terrifying macro level, where an entire generation becomes fundamentally priced out of major human milestones. People stop buying homes, they stop getting married, they stop having children. Why?
Because the literal time cost of raising a human being requires a massive surplus of hours that simply no longer exists in a modern salary structure. It is a slow-motion demographic collapse driven entirely by invisible financial mechanics. You aren't just broke, you are being systematically starved of your own existence. Now here is what nobody tells you, and honestly, a lot of self-proclaimed financial gurus will probably hate me for exposing this truth. The biggest lie in modern finance is the concept of just working harder to achieve passive income. Most people think they need a side hustle to escape the trap. But hustling just feeds more of your finite time into a machine designed specifically to consume it. What if your salary really is just a high-interest loan on your lifespan? The harsh lesson here is that in a system where time is the only true currency, playing it safe by selling your hours to an employer is the single riskiest financial decision you can possibly make. So I want you to scroll down and answer this specific question in the comments right now. How many hours of your life did you sell today for a coffee?